Race fans, he is a former NASCAR Cup Series winner, but in recent weeks he's been a champion of relief for those affected by Hurricane Helene, flying his helicopter all across western North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, and the highlands of the region to help so many impacted and in need. To give the most famous words in motorsports and to get the Cars Tour 225 underway, please welcome Greg Biffle.
Drivers, start your engines!
Fired up here.
And sometimes you can use that as an advantage, right?
All right,
as drivers,
showing you two at the line here, doubling up out of four.
Take advantage of the weaker ones, right? If you, whatever case may be. Ryan Blaney did not need to win that race. Ross Chastain.
All right, 125 laps. Get your comp. Lap 45, guaranteed 2 yellows tonight. Race track is going to change. Groove's going to move up and down. Keep up with the track all night. Good luck. Have fun.
We're all racers and everything, so.
Hopefully get us another win.
As long as they're not crashing. I don't think anybody wants to do that or tear him up or do anything, but I think they know how much is on the line for him that if they put him in a bad spot, he might lift, right? It's putting that guy.
We'll be lights out here. One to go on green next time. Control car to the top.
Potentially, as racers.
Outside the row, the one row behind. 00 in your mirror, 29 up top.
Which lane he will start this race for the initial start, and he will go to the outside to lead this field to the green flag. He'll bring along Mini Tyrell, Honeycutt, Queen, Connor Jones, your top 5. 2 races left in the Z-Max Cars Tour presented by Sound Gears season. 1 point separates your top 2 in the championship, and of course, a trip to Cookout Victory Lane on the line. Sit back and enjoy this one from Grand Falls, North Carolina. The Cars Tour 225 GeoCut is underway.
Bottom of 3. Still bottom of 3. Bottom of 2. Top covered even.
Back stretch. I'm shocked by that, but look how high they're getting right away off the bat.
In line with you.
I'm actually almost not even having
top still covered.
Lap 1 is Mini Tyrell uncovering down the bottom.
00 in line with you. Half back. Top still covered. Clear up behind the 1 if you want it.
Tyrell is certainly giving him a fight on the bottom.
Top covered again.
55. Bottom out a little bit, getting into corner 3 on these
top lane 2 apart.
And it's Tyrell who leads that lap.
And again, Mini Tyrell, and I think you look a little bit behind him.
Just you in the 1.
One of those cars that over the
half off 00 top covered. Outside quarter 29.
Or in Cars Tour competition at Tri-County Speedway, those cars that are able to
in line with you,
the bottom side work are the cars that really are able to make up that track position. Again, middle top lane is where most cars prefer to run. But if you have a versatile race car, that's a word we hear a lot when it comes to Tri-County Speedway. If you can make both ends work, that's
you in the 29, still half back 00.
Right now, nearly a dead heat at the stripe again. That time, it's Corey Heim who takes back the race.
Top still covered outside quarter.
Side by side. Meanwhile, they've built up about 2 or 3 car lengths over Queen.
Yeah, it's really impressive by Mini Tyrell, but as the pressure starts to come up,
still outside even 29.
He has the advantage here as we see a little less sparks almost every lap. I think that's what you're going to see.
Still half up, 00.
How good of pace Corey Heim could have on the long run, as Mini Tyrell probably had, the pressure's up a little bit more considering he wasn't bottoming out as much.
Still up at door, quarter.
Now as Brendan Queen trying to put himself a part of the picture and running the bottom, which is
just you in the 1.
That shows how good his car right now is.
Half to the 00 in line.
Between cars committed to the top and committed to the bottom, I expect as the night rolls on,
we're going to run through the center, inside quarter.
Things start to get a little bit more physical as you've got now Connor Jones trying to fend off Ryan Miller.
00 half lane lower, your mid 3.
Carson Kvapil.
Quarter.
A grandfather clock after the win at Martinsville a couple of weeks ago. He's smack dab in the middle of a fight here with Andrew Grady in the 1 and Chase Burrow.
Still half lane down.
Yeah, giving on to Andrew Grady right now, holding strong on the outside.
Still outside quarter, you in the 1. Still there barely. Quarter, clear.
On Brent Cruz, we talked about
half to 2 wide.
High he was willing to get. He almost has to throw in the binders as he looks to try and make it 3 wide through the corner. And how about Chase Burrow? Don't want to say he was the surprise or the first race we had here at Tri-County, but certainly
inside quarter, 00.
Winning piece. He comes up just
you got momentum.
After
quarter clear.
Challenge Butterbean for the win in that one. But he'll look to go low. Kvapil's able to make up that spot. You see
still down there, 2 lanes down, 1 lane down. Still quarter.
running a really hard entry, but kind of diving the corner.
Still quarter.
The racetrack crews is trying to
Quarter clear. In line. Half.
This is the battle for 7th through 14th. Guys, this is pretty wild. I'm shocked
Half,
at
half,
how
lean
fast
down.
the pace is here. I haven't really watched the race on the new pavement, and the pace is super fast. I think this is really just
Inside quarter.
to be able to be movable and move around and
Still there, clear.
side, but it also makes it tough to clear because everybody's just got a lot of grip and the pace is really fast.
00 running the mid, still good by half.
Because they're covering a lot of the action that's happening all around this racetrack. Here's the number 15C. That's an RNS
Half down.
entry by that of Kate.
No run.
Doing double duty tonight. The driver behind him, Connor Jones, normally does the same. We highlighted in driver entry.
Half down.
This Pro Late model ride for that of Ashton Higgins, but Jones has won here before, and he's been close to winning in 2024.
Inside quarter.
How aggressive is he willing to be, not only to get this spot, but maybe more?
You and him, door quarter.
Fast race car tonight, and this is the battle for
Still there. Half down.
Really been a
One
lot
down.
of great runs that Connor Jones has had as of late, and you can see
You and him
just
even in by 3.
he wants to run that same lane as Honeycutt. You can see, especially in 1 and 2, able to hook out that left front just a little bit, get a little bit of clean air on the nose, and try to make some move. Oh, and he'll actually move Honeycutt
So you and him
up.
got one slow up top here. You're ready to run mid. Still down there. Even.
Up a spot. Honeycutt trying to stop the bleeding. It looks like it's just Mills.
Still down there. Quick in behind him.
And again, that's kind of, I think, when we get to these late race situations, people
Still good by
like
2.
Honeycutt, they will remember that when we get later on in the race.
29 trying to poke middle. Still good by half. Half to 2 wide.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, that's the gamble you have, right? I mean, the
Bottom's clear if you want it. Still good by half.
secret, right? I mean, anybody with 2 pairs of eyes could easily tell that where the groove is and where there's not grip. So it doesn't
Still
take
half.
much to
Still half 2 wide.
cut per se, right? He gets up in out of the groove. It's like a cushion for a dirt track. All of a sudden, you're in
Inside quarter.
you don't have to deal with them. But the problem,
Clear.
there's 110 laps that you might have to deal with that guy later.
00 down bottom. 2 lanes down.
You'll notice,
Even.
especially when these drivers come off of turn number 2 with our backstretch camera, you can see them kind of go over.
Still there. 29 still half back in the mid. Bottom still covered.
A little bit where the car gets unsettled, and that's the difference with how this racetrack was paved in the time frame in which they did it.
Bottom still covered. 29 in line with you by half.
Weren't necessarily paved during the same year, so you can see a little bit of that transition off at 2 that we hear each time we come here that gets a little
You got momentum
more.
here. Door.
I don't want to say that because it's not a huge bump, but it is something that will upset the race car just a little bit. But this battle has basically continued since we dropped the green flag 20 laps ago. This is for 4th.
29 still 1.5 back in the mid. Bottom covered.
In terms of the championship, Brendan Queen is just up the road of this battle for 4th. All the while, Connor Hall has lost 2 positions since the start of the race. He's fallen back to 18th, and we apologize for our timing and scoring ticker not being available right now.
Still just you and the 08.
This is to where we stand. 21 laps complete. And again, if you're new to Cars Tour competition, we would see
08, 2 lanes down, both ends. Still 1 back, 29.
consecutive green flag laps.
A couple of cars look really strong early. Of course, you see Minnie Tyrell and Corey Heim that have been relatively even in terms of pace through the first couple of laps. But one car that is definitely catching my eye with his progress through the field, that is the 08 of Deke McCaskill. Started in 13th, is already up into the 8th position.
So just you and the
I was
08.
just about to mention the fact that he was battling Carson Kvapil side by side. And again, he's been doing all of his work on the bottom
29
side of the
is trying to
race.
roll bottom out back now.
Been able to make up a couple
He's
of
searching. So you and the 08.
Looks fast, and that's scary for the rest of this field if you
Clear.
that car rolling.
He clears Kvapil. Kvapil actually going to make a crossover attempt there. I'm not sure if he's going to get there quite yet. Just enough to probably have a spotter call inside, but Deke able to kind of pull away there now that he's in the preferred groove.
2 back to 2 wide now.
Trouble front straightaway. Andrew
14 on the bottom, 29 up top. Yellow. Got one slow down the front.
Andrew Green has his car come to a stop. With
Done early in the race cars.
All right, come in 2 and choose here. Don't hit your box, make it obvious.
Make an adjustment. We do
4 would be your choice. 5 going top.
If we don't get a stoppage coming up, but certainly wanted to get that done early.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is the easiest way to get back through the field, right, is at the beginning when
1.
nobody had a shot to 100% know what they got,
2.
the pressures aren't high, and everybody's still trying to feel out the
3.
race car. The worst thing you could do is come down
4,
lane,
your choice.
position late in the race, because everybody's either, you can't make adjustments,
Control car
right,
took top.
but a lot of guys have figured out their race cars. They have adjustments they can do with their line, and everybody knows at some point of what they got and how much they got, and what they need to do to make their race car go fast, and that's the toughest part, is when you lose track position late.
All right, inside your road, 29, row behind, 1 down low, 14 in your mirror. 14 was making ground there, that last run.
Indication that his night is over with, again, with here trying
Pace car probably check up here.
that are parked somewhat kind of on the sides, and everybody kind of converges here on the front stretch to make this one long pit road. And it looks like Patterson.
All right, we got our lights out here. Want to go to the line, green next time. Looking for lap 70 on your next comp.
The Cars Tour 225 presented by GeoCut. They'll get the one.
Control car, our lane, out front, 08,
of the
15 Honeycutt, 03, 55 control car.
True to the top side of the racetrack, Mini Tyrell taking that track position to go on the bottom. However, Connor Jones, second car that will jump up on the inside, he may be able to pick up a spot if he can get up in front.
Right, clean him up good here. I'll call the front row.
Challenge the two Lee Pulliam performance cars who lead the outside
Leaders penalty.
line. 100 laps left here at Tri-County Speedway tonight. Corey Heim will bring us into the Death Wish Coffee restart zone.
Oh, well, in 2 back your lane, bottom covered.
For 100 laps.
Push you in the 29, you got momentum. Door quarter clear.
The agenda right there from Mini Tyrell, and he completes it. He's able to get back.
Mid my stack here. Still got my half out back.
Take the peak to his outside now. Queen has his hands full with Connor Jones in the 44.
And Jones now trying to shoulder his way up there to get
clear
that
to the bottom at the
top side. They touch off the corner, and Butterbean caught the wall.
Yeah, I don't think there's a guy that's
one back 29 running mid.
Connor Jones has been in this race so far, but yeah, I think what we're seeing right now is, you know, Corey Heim and Butterbean Queen, right? They were some of the 2 best, I think, back to the truck race at North Wilkesboro. The line's very similar up top, and, you know, Corey Heim went on to dominate.
Bottom still clear if you want it, still go by 2.
I think that's Sawallich sneaking through the middle there.
Shoot in the 00.
62, he splits Ryan
Fans
Wilson
back on if you
two,
can.
and Eatman in the 45, trying to bring along Trayton Lapsevich in the 77. You also have Cade Brown in the 23. This is everything. This is why Tri-County is so difficult, because all of this is going on.
I don't think Ryan Wilson appreciated that middle 3 as he got in.
No gain out back, still good by 3.
Know there just a little bit as we go side by side here. We see the battle for third now still going on with Connor.
Bottom's going to keep getting back here, just keep rolling top.
This is where you start to wonder, is Queen, how hard is he going to fight, knowing what Connor Jones could do or what he's seen? You know, we've seen out of him so far of just being very aggressive and already having contact where you put yourself in the wall. You know, Connor Hall's behind you. You're good
Bottom
right
still
now.
1 lane down.
Queen, you don't need 100% this spot right now in this moment.
And look who's behind the 44.
Yeah,
that's
what I was
Caden
gonna point
Honeycutt, who just got the nudge.
2 lanes down, this in.
As Tyrell
Still
trying
good by
to pick
4.
up the lead. This the battle for third on back. Honeycutt now looking low on Jones.
I thought Honeycutt, you could see him, he tried to drive in deep a couple of times to jump up to the outside of Connor Jones, but now you can see the 44 going up to defend.
So they're even.
The 2 drivers that we have seen work the bottom so well have caught back up to this battle. Ryan Millington, the other 15, the black 15 car that's behind Honeycutt there, and Deke McCaskill, but also I think at this point, Connor Jones
So even 2 down.
a faster car than Butterbean.
1 down.
Unfortunately, Butterbean just happens to occupy the lane that 44 car works best in right now.
Look, if you're Connor Jones, you were already aggressive, and now you have emphasis.
So even 2 down.
Behind you, you already set him going, packing a little bit. So being aggressive here to just try and almost run away.
You got momentum
as
here.
a race car driver, you
Still door quarter
remember
clear.
that of who you got into at some point. So now he's got 2
Back inside, 2 down.
behind him that probably owe him a little one later, but able to clear that. And Honeycutt now going.
Still door quarter.
That looks like he
Still door 2 down.
a little bit of, I think, of a
1 down.
no trouble. That is
Quarter clear.
on the inside retaining wall, and the shitty cooler.
Keep making it live up top here. Yellow.
For the second time here tonight.
I don't know where. Looks maybe bottom of 3. Just watch for debris down there.
Car spun.
Yeah, there was a car parked there. We went by.
As it looks
The
like it
inside
is
of
right at
turn
the entrance
3.
of turn 3.
Spun around and landed where he just did.
It actually looked from that view that maybe the rear end housing was moved over a little bit on the backside, as almost like it was protruding out on the left side door of that 23 car, as if he did hit that inside wall quite maybe 3, 5
All right,
feet
come on back
below
2 and
you.
choose here.
So to give teams a
P8,
chance who may have sustained
number
some
for
damage
top
or
is
make some
4,
adjustments,
so 3
that's
bottom,
something
4
that is
top.
utilized by the series. It was put in place there, but as you mentioned, for Cade Brown, that's a really unfortunate continuation of what has been just a topsy-turvy year for that young man. And you know, after
Right, make
this
it obvious,
win at
don't hit your
Martinsville,
butt.
he gave a very, very candid interview at the end of that one, and hopefully
Control
we'll have
car
a chance to
top,
catch up with
1
him
bottom,
a little
2.
bit later on.
see
Three.
that as we have gotten the one to go signal, or at least they're choosing
Four,
this
go on
time
top.
by behind the HinderCars.com pace car. It's a couple of cars going to the bottom, and again, I know we've talked about Millington and McCaskill already a couple of times tonight. Millington elects to go to the top side. It'll be McCaskill.
All right, inside the road, 08, row behind, 00 down, bottom, 14, come here.
We've seen tonight, everybody talks about Tri-County, that yes, it's a track that everybody loves because it's multi-groove.
Pace car will probably check up here, tail's still in 4.
McCaskill, Jared Fryer have been two cars that have really caught my eye. That's Jared Fryer in the 14, the former series champion, as well as McCaskill, the former series champion, that have really been able to make moves when other cars
Lights
just
back out
haven't
here.
quite been able
You want to go green next time?
Yeah, we mentioned Kate Brown trying
Looking
to
for lap
some
80 on your
Kyle
comp.
McCaskill in the 08 and Chase Burrow in that 00. Both of them just plagued with disappointment. McCaskill has only made 11 starts this year. He's DNF'd in 5 of those races. He appears to have a hot rod. Chase Burrow, hard crash at South Boston, blew an engine while being
Choke out your lane.
in Martinsville. They find
Up
themselves
front,
nose to
15,
tail.
03,
With you,
55.
both those cars
Clean 'em
are
up good
really
here.
good on the bottom.
That they do. As HinderCars.com pace car will pull in momentarily. Still 90 laps left here for the late model stocks, and the
Leader, 10 away.
penultimate race of the 2024
5,
season.
ready,
Corey Heim
ready,
collects the top side
moving.
once again. He'll bring his lead pullium
Top
performance
roll.
teammate behind him as we get going once again here at Tri-County.
A really good restart from the 03.
She won the 15.
Behind that right, as you see the benefits of
Even
reverse,
two back your
being
lane.
able to pull, almost an advantage and almost cleared Vinny Tyrell.
2 down, run a wall.
He's gonna
1
look
down.
to get off of turn 4 as good as he can and try to get right behind his teammate and take that spot. More importantly, another point.
Half down, still
Just
even.
behind them, the
Top
44
of 3.
Connor Jones again trying to work the inside. Now he's got a car to the bottom. That's Honeycutt
Still
who makes
top
it
of 3.
3 wide. He's on the inside with Carson Kvapil rim riding the
Still top of 3.
as they almost come together all 4.
There was another moment where Chase Burrow and Deke McCaskill nearly came together.
Still
There's
3,
a lot
half
of
apart.
standard, 3
It's
wide
fading.
right now. They
Still
are
there, quarter.
wide beneath Carson.
Still quarter, clear,
As they
clear.
head down into turn number 3.
44 in line with you,
For
tight.
second right
Bottom
now,
still covered.
going on is Tyrell tries to make
Quarter,
a
clear.
spot on Butterbean. It's Millington.
Back inside quarter.
He's single file, but 2 by 2
44
they go
pushing
to the
you.
second spot. Is
Clear,
there's
clear.
a bloodbath behind them going on right now.
Still half in line, 2 down, bottom.
Tyrell still working the inside.
1 down. Still there, door, quarter.
Only twice before have the lead pullium
Still quarter, 44 on you.
and Butterbean been teammates in a race.
Still there, door, 15.
Was at Caraway earlier in July. Heim ended up on his lid. Butterbean almost went out of the ballpark on the
Half back,
backstretch.
trying to
For a full
fade
reversal
mid.
of fortunes of what happened there.
Still there, even.
Trying to run 1-2.
1 down, grab your fans down the back here, fans.
Millington's car looking
Third
really
quarter.
good. Just behind Minnie Tyrell again.
2 down, in line with
go
you.
A little bit lower, despite the dirty
Even.
air hasn't helped him. Carson Kvapil, you can see starting to make up just out of the edge of the frame.
1 down, half back your lane.
Spot. He's able to get by both Connor Jones and Caden Honeycutt. Oh,
Still even, half off.
Harrison around.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
Smith, who's able to throw on the binders.
Now we're wrecking up
Buddy
top.
Miles Jr.
Middle 1 and 2 here, now rolling bottom.
Will be out
Pace
for
car
a third
pick you up.
time.
And we just got a
Track
report
will be
from
clear.
Bike Trackside that under that red-yellow condition, laps of it.
I asked him to double check it, got nothing. So we are coming 2 and 2
Car
here.
going back and forth for Buddy Isles Jr., who looked to avoid
Alright, number
any
for top is
trouble or
3.
contact, any damage in the midst of this one. As we run under
1
caution
bottom.
once again very quickly. They'll get the 2 signal from
2.
Brandon Willard, and
Go on
just
bottom.
as it has been for the majority of this one, Tyrell on the bottom, Corey Heim will elect the top side once again. Then it's Honeycutt, first car on the inside of the second row. Then you have Kvapil and Millington making up row number 3. Was also looking at that last restart too, and I've got to tell you, 8th, 9th, 10th, saw a lot of contact back there. Jared Fryer, Chase Burrow, Deke McCaskill. I don't know how they were able to collect it out. There's a lot going on back there.
Yeah, I'd like to just give an update right now on Connor Hall's situation. He hasn't really gone forward. Started 16th, currently 15th. Hasn't really gone
Lights out
forward
here.
right now.
1 to go flying green next time.
He's been kind of in a bloodbath. Normally he's 2 or 3.
Control car
back
top,
there. He
leading
gets
your
one,
lane, Honeycutt,
but if
Minnie
he doesn't
Tyrell.
get the next one gets back around him, or there's another lane rolling, and he's just kind of played that conga line of one lane. One time he gets in a lane and has momentum.
Looking
gets
for lap
back to you, and then
86 on your
tries
next
to
comp
make a
here.
move. that lane gets him if he doesn't clear the next one. So he's been kind of on a rotating circus back there a little bit, and he'll take the bottom here and try to go forward, but no clear sign that 22 has been able to make a lot of progress so far.
Again, a lot of times this year they have been
Leaders,
in that position to start the race. However, they have not ended there, but so far not making that same progress through the field.
One off.
As we're back underway with 84 laps to go.
Bottom of 3.
Able to get a great launch down into turn number 1. He'll bring Brendan Queen along the top side, although Mini Tyrell, great run. Here's 3 wide between Kvapil, Honeycutt, and Ryan Millington. Now his car working on the top side in that Leisure Time Reynolds machine.
Backwards from what we saw earlier. We saw 3 wide with Kvapil up top and everything, and now Kvapil's now on the bottom as they get to Millington.
Still 3. Is the tightest to you.
Dynamic do a little bit on the bottom, able to roll front.
Still out there, door.
To now 3 wide. Next to Millington there.
Still bottom of 3.
Car Kvapil got really loose, getting back to the power off turn 4, and they remain.
Your momentum is center 3 and 4. Still bottom of 3.
Kvapil committed to the inside. There's been a lot of news out of this junior motorsports organization over the
50
last few
still on your door tight. Still bottom of 3.
Another slide there on the inside. Honeycutt, the pair of
now half up.
to settle it, but Kvapil
Still bottom of 3.
committed to the bottom.
Now bottom of 2. You in the 44. 3 back there.
He's sitting behind these guys. Hey, you guys sort it out so that I have somewhere to go. Chase Burrow now on the top side. Jared
Still out there.
is running the ferry body. He just kind of pinch him McCaskill down there, but they still make 3 wide work. This is why Tri-County is just fantastic to watch in person. You see scenes like this all throughout the field, and now this is where you disagree over some real estate here. Honeycutt trying to run the middle. Millington all the way up about as high as you can go for the moment right now.
Yeah, if you're a race car driver right
now, 2 up, covered.
Being tested if you're riding Honeycutt. I think you're a little bit better than Millington right now because he's in the preferred groove, and now he's trying to get off of him a little bit.
15 fading on the top here.
Some distance as we now get a battle up front, or closest we've seen anybody to Corey Heim.
Still 2 up.
Tyrell working to the inside here,
1.
Trying to
behind the 44 if you want top.
For the first time tonight.
Look at Tyrell at the end of the backstretch. He arced the
car.
Back
double 0 in line. Running mid with you.
A better entry into turn 3, and he does it again here, going down into turn number 1.
Half 2 down.
Very impressed with Minnie's ability to try to stay committed to the bottom.
Total 1.
And despite the fact these two are running completely different lines, they've driven away from the rest of the field as Tyrell tries to get another run.
Still 1, 2 down. Grab your fans here if you can.
I've seen some of his onboards throughout the season, and he runs a very large steering box. So just being able to see him kind of wheel the car a lot,
by 1.5.
To have a little bit of feel in the wheel where he can turn the car a lot. It's not necessarily going to move as a lot of these other drivers that are out here in the field. So Mini Tyrell, he is a wheelman, and right now, fun to see him try to keep that car wound up on the bottom as now he elects to go to the middle that time to try and get by Corey Heim, but so far so good for your top 2 runners. This is further on back.
Working lap 50, looking for 86.
Unfortunately, it has been some backwards progress since this restart. He's now side by side. That is with Ryan Wilson,
chasing at 09.
17th right now, and that's pretty much exactly what you were saying, Carson, where he started on this latest restart.
Yeah, he's been on the bottom and hasn't been able to do anything. Guys have made moves around him, and you see there, he's trying to get 1, and then he's trying to get 2, and then he just can't get up.
23.
As he now goes 3 wide here. That's really tight, especially with the 17 all over.
That was Monahan right there, and again, if you're going to be that top car 3 wide, that's a very low spot on the racetrack to get it done. It works out for Connor.
09, that was better in the mid. 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4.
Landon S. Huffman to try and jump to the inside of him.
Wilson just about found himself in a Young Gun sandwich. Monahan in his Cars Tour debut, Landon S. Huffman in his 3rd ever Cars Tour late model stock race. And Wilson got
25, chasing at 12.
Lost now 3 spots after giving up the initial rung to Hall. Back up to the front.
Yeah, Corey Heim, the one thing I've noticed, guys, is he has not about gotten off that top lane. He's been married.
14 chasing at 04. By 5, no pressure.
Some gains on him and get going and move down a little bit. He hasn't even tested to see if his car works well. Obviously, a lot of speed out of the 55, but I'm curious what he has to do if he does get pressured and what that car would do lower on the racetrack.
15 chasing at 12.
Inside at turns 1 and 2, the former Rookie of the Year at South Boston Speedway a couple of years ago, taking his talents here to the Z-Max Cars Tour in a 45 ride, Eric, for Hedgecock Racing Enterprises that has had a host of drivers behind the wheel throughout the course of
17 chasing at 16.
So regardless of who has been in it, they have been impressive as of late. Right now trying to charge and get inside the top 10. to pass your Hickory winner. They're battling for 13th right now behind Andrew Grady, who's lost a little bit of ground since the start of this race. But
24 chasing a 17.
Thinking about making it 3 wide and perhaps leaning a little bit into Grady through the center at turn number 2.
This is what makes Tri-County so much fun. Bassett did wrinkle up the left rear quarter panel of Grady's car just a little bit. Battle for the lead, left side of your picture.
26 chasing an 18.
Battle for what is 13th spot. Right side of your frame with the points leader Connor Hall watching along.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing, guys,
Just a leader running very top both ends.
offense. Landon S. Hussman already back to the back bumper of the 22 of Connor Hall. He's not making
18.
progression. We saw how much these guys were battling in front of him, and he's not really gaining a ton on them every single lap. It's inches at a time, but it's
Working lap 60 here, 26-1.
He's fighting that thing to just make some speed. As you see, the 28 just all over the back bumper, so he's trying
25.
to offense and get going. And he's got 2 cars in front of him, but he's got 2 lined up behind him, and that's 2 points. And I know that expectations and frustration can be building up here inside the 22 car.
It's 63 laps to go. I think you got a great vantage point there of what these leaders
24 chasing a 31.
around the 16th to 15th position. These two have been setting a blistering pace, but very
Halfway at the line here,
That's
halfway.
what they have to greet them when they get to the back end of some of the lap traffic. They have Dylan Ward and Blaine Harrison up the road, but if they ever do,
27 chasing a 23.
that's what's happening back in this field for even 15th. So where do you go? This is where you need a race car that can work anywhere. Right now, Corey Hunt, who made it to the top side. Minnie Tyrell, though, has made some progress to try and get side by side.
28 chasing a 32.
See if he can do it down here in turns 3 and 4. Also the potential, again, if we get
44 started to move up to the very top with the 55.
Cooler's caution would be displayed once again.
We are past the iRacing halfway point here. Want to remind our viewers from home that if you're keeping pace,
43 chasing a 39.
left-hand portion of your screen as Tyrell has a look to the bottom. There's actually 60 laps to go. Coming up on 59 to go as Tyrell continues to hound the back bumper of the lead Pulliam Performance number 55, and they have caught the tail end of the field on the backstretch.
31 chasing a 30.
Important for Minnie. He's going to have to be aggressive here if you're going to try and do it before lap traffic. You only got 2 or 3
19 more to your comp.
Try and work him, otherwise you're kind of going to be disciplined, or maybe less than 2 laps if we really catch him here.
46 chasing a 30. Still got by 5, no pressure.
He's going to have to wait for these 2 cars and then mount a charge.
Either one of these cars visiting Cookout Victory Lane would tie a series high in terms of different winners in a season. We've had 10 so far this year. We would match
27, that's been your best right there.
set back in 2022. If either one of these 2 drivers, including Connor Jones and Peyton Honeycutt, if they were able to go to Victory Lane, would make for 11 separate winners in the 2024 season. As Tyrell looks like
33 chasing a 37.
after catching some of the lap traffic, having to go around them, starting to kind of make his progress back up. And this is why Tri-County can be fun. It can also be frustrating because you can make up some of that ground for a couple laps. All it takes is one bad
Lap times are better on the bottom here. 33 chasing a 46.
Side further on back for the 13th position now is Eatman laying into the door of Ronnie Bassett Jr. just in front of your championship points leader coming into tonight in Connor Hall, but not as they run right now.
Yeah, this is the battle for 14.
34 chasing a 47.
Outside is Landon. This is exactly what Connor Hall has had.
First lap would be the black 7, 3 up.
Landon S. Hussman almost got to the outside and now making a charge on him. He just can't complete passes 100%, and then he's now back.
That one slow top, be ready to run mid into 3.
Got lucky on that one a little bit. That Landon didn't.
He went bottom.
Outside, but fighting right now for 15. Obviously expectations. I don't think the championship leader thought they would be fighting for 15th as hard as they are, and that can just build on frustration.
36 chasing a 48.
As a driver, as we look back up front, I can't tell who 100% has the better car, because sometimes Minnie Tyrell makes a run at the 55, and then
Lappers are going to stay bottom here.
It's 100% to tell, but I think we got a little bit of a cat base.
Here's your first one.
Nice count.
Still there even.
I get tongue twisted there.
It's all good. It happens.
We have a little bit of
Still down there, 2 down.
Very smart. A lot of racecraft behind.
Still there, clear.
A lot of wins on Friday.
One more lap or bottom.
But maybe playing with Vinny a little bit with his race car. But what I see is the most lap traffic we've seen.
Still there, Lapper.
2-3 wide, almost that point. But there's
2 down. You'll be coming 10 more to the top
The
here.
other thing I saw
Clear.
is his teammate, Brendan Queen, lost a spot to Connor Jones. As we continue guys duke it out. This is
3 back running top for position.
the top 5, the 215 cars, Caden Honeycutt, who will try to make up some ground in the Pro Late Model Championship.
00 running
Later
mid.
on tonight, he trails Spencer Davis by 11 points. He'll hop out of his late model stock car and get up on the wheel for 100 laps.
He ran mid, both ends, still good by 1.5 for position.
We have Millington, Carson Kvapil, and again, Chase Burrow, who was very strong here in the spring, riding it out just behind them. As we now come to 47 laps to go.
So half back, very bottom.
The next competition caution, should this race stand
Total 1.
at lap 86. So we're getting there. We're within 10 laps at that time as we continue to watch this battle for 5th. And a handful of laps ago, Brendan Butterbean Queen had himself a scare. Got into it with that of Blaine Harrison. After he fell a lap down, he was able to survive the battle in the corner.
Looks better on the bottom, 1 and 2 there. Pull to 3.
Off the podium.
Starting to see the brake road.
He's 6-4 the line here.
A little bit here as we finally start to see your race leader in some lap traffic. In fact, he jumps up 3 wide on a couple of cars, including William Sawalich there in the 62. You can see Tyrell has not fared quite as well, trying to get through all of that traffic right now. But I think at this point, your shot at trying to restart as the leader. Looking forward to that. Shitty Coolers competition caution has gone by.
So 3 back running top.
Off of turn 2, Millington able to complete that pass on Caden Honeycutt for the time being to go up into the 5th spot.
1.5.
Long we've been talking about Connor. Oh, trouble! Big crash, and Connor Hall is in.
Yellow. Got one around. Top of 3 and 4.
Parker Eatman, Dylan Ward involved.
Start checking
as
up here.
well. And championship implications, there you can see Blaine Harrison as well. There's about 5 or 6 cars. Ryan
deep breath
Wilson's
here.
car starting to spark a little bit as he'll try to drive away from the
Brake
scene.
fans off.
Wounded on the racetrack. If
Right,
that's
coming back
a little
to
bit
a choose here.
surprising to get Tyrell up on the wheel even further, if at all possible, knowing that a win
Remember,
here
3 will be your choice. You won't give up a row. 4 top will be shortest.
When we get to Wilkesboro in 1 week's time, because the math, when you crunch the numbers, all it'll take is a slight misstep by the 03, and Minnie Tyrell could end up with the racing season of his life should the
All
stars
right, choosing right
for
here.
him.
Don't hit your box.
44
Make it obvious.
laps left. A lot can happen up here in the top 5.
Control car top,
As
1
Queen
bottom.
runs in, and if something were to happen
2
in
bottom.
3, that's what all these teams
3, your choice.
Situation, give yourself the best possible chance to compete here. As we see the choose happening right now on the front straightaway, Connor Hall will see where he can rejoin this field at the very tail end. As once again, it'll be Heim on the outside.
All right, outside your row, the 00, row behind. 18 in your mirror, 14 prior up
So
top.
many times over the last couple of months, he had a real shot to win that race at Ace Speedway. He was essentially wrecked after the Shitty Coolers caution was displayed in that one. He had a great shot to win that one. He ran 4th at Dominion, has been a fixture up at the front of many of these races towards the second half of the season, despite running in the Craftsman Truck Series part-time and in this
All right,
series
lights are out here.
part-time.
If you want to go green next time,
For more.
be 44 to go when you get at 4-4. No more comps.
Funny that you mentioned Minnie Tyrell, Eric, because I talked to Scroochie just a moment ago. They said they feel like they've got a really good car on the short runs, that if we get short runs, they have the car to beat. That they're a little bit free on the long runs, but they think of the short runs, they have a better car than Corey Hines.
Right, clean 'em up good here. Control car top.
Could get very fun to steering. If we get a lot of short runs and a lot of yellows to end this, watch out. We could see Minnie Tyrell back at Cookout Victory Lane.
I think there's a lot of confidence with Minnie Tyrell. If you have a great
Leader,
short
get away.
car, you can make that
5,
pass and make the
ready,
job very difficult
ready, Gregory.
for Corey Heim to try and get back by. But I'm sure Heim
All rolling. 2 off.
easy on him as they go through the Death Wish Coffee restart zone. 44 laps to go. And
Still outside
Tyrell
covered.
up into the side of Corey Heim.
You in a 00?
Queen looking to try to make it 3 wide for the top spot.
Bottom of
I
3.
think after what happened to that 22, maybe the 03 would take it a little
Still
bit
3.
easy. Not so fast. Nearly 3 wide again off turn 4.
Just bottom of 2. 2 up.
Yeah,
1
that's
up.
almost, in a way,
You on the
gives
15.
Butterbean Queen the ability to be aggressive. He knows that 22 is beaten, battered, and way back there.
Double
He
zero
almost,
trying to
I
poke
don't want
mid.
to say has nothing to lose, but
So top cover,
he
half up.
relax a little bit, knowing he's going to gain points, even if he was 1 car ahead of the 22. He's
2
gonna
up.
gain points, so he
Even.
can be a little bit aggressive and almost, maybe get a little greedy here as we see.
00 trying to dive bottom here. Half back in line.
One thing I noticed, Connor Jones now back
Top
on the
still covered,
top,
2 up.
really looking strong here as he tries to reel in Corey Hines.
I was about to say Minnie Tyrell was fast on the short runs. How
Let's see you
about
on the
Connor
15.
Jones, who is setting a blistering
Clear
pace
up.
right now, and especially Eric through turns 1 and 2. That's where this 44 car
Inside quarter.
is so strong. Can get back to the throttle so early. Has great
See that momentum clear.
turn 2. He's been doing it all night to get by drivers. You can see the
Inside even, one down.
up to where that rubber
You got
is laid
momentum.
down,
Door quarter.
be able to get the job
Still
done.
quarter.
He looks fast right now, and he may look to try to get by
Still there, 2
here
down.
in the next couple laps.
Yeah, I don't 100% think his
Even.
strong suits 3 and 4, but he's able to be really aggressive and get that thing in and pivot it.
Keep low on top here. Still 1 down, even.
Maybe a little bit
14 in line with you by 1.
Still on him into 3.
Carson, you said it earlier, agendas. These two don't
Still 2
care
down.
about the
1
title
down.
at all. All they want to do is go to Cookout Victory Lane, and right now with 38 to go, the gloves are off. Heim is trying to protect the spot. Connor Jones thought about maybe giving him a nudge there off 2 that time. He lifted there. He'll size him up again.
Let's see you on the 00.
Me on those quarter panels right.
Still 14 half back.
We've seen the move happen a handful of times so far tonight of Connor Jones. They're on that fine edge. They're on the limit of the grip.
Got room to cross him if you want.
And he can put Heim into the marbles and really put him in a bad spot here. But you're kind of being a little bit, never mind, not very patient as he gets into him just a little bit off of 4. But that car is so low. I don't even know if he 100% is trying to. I just think he's catching him in a
Grab your brake pants down the back here.
You know, he's not going to want to pass him, but he's able to bring that 81 car back into the picture.
So you and him room to cross him if you want.
I'm blown away here. I don't even know what to say. People are getting on their feet because they're seeing the battle. It's a 3-way battle now, and there's two battles.
So 1 back, 2 wide. Single out to the 14 now.
Connor Jones right now trying to size up Corey Heim as he has been for the last handful of laps.
So half up. Now 1.
35 laps to go as he looks for a way around. Minnie Tyrell going to look to the bottom, makes it 3 wide for a moment, and that's what's going to be difficult for Connor Jones in this situation. Where he wants to cut down, if Minnie Tyrell is there, well, the option's not available.
Next 4 in line, I'll run at bottom with you.
Pressure starting to build. You got to make that pass now if you want to try to get by Corey Heim.
Guys, something we're seeing
By
right
2.5.
now, I feel like Heim is the worst his car's seen. He's not able to pull away, and he's actually bringing guys back. It's difficult for the 44, the 81 get there. He brought the 81 in the picture. Now the 03 of Queen and Millington are starting to come more in your picture on flow.
By 1.5. 14, chasing a 40.
Starting to bring the rest of the field into this battle. We could have 3 or 4 and maybe even 5 for this battle leading here shortly if they don't get around Heim.
Might have been a slight rush there between Tyrell and the 81 and the backside of the 44 of Connor Jones. They survived the corner, but as you mentioned,
33 chasing a 31.
40 and back together. 30 to go when we come back to the line. Heim has been in control pretty much all race long.
No pressure here, whatever you need. 30 to go, 3-0.
And Brendan Queen watching it all from 4th, giving himself a little bit of distance should something happen.
And again, where
40 chasing a 31.
Make up that time really off the exit of the corner. That's why the couple times he's leaned into Heim, Heim's been able to save the race car. But we'll just see what Connor Jones can do. A couple of times he's been able to build off.
28 chasing a 40. That was a good lap there.
But right now, Heim holding steady, hasn't let the pressure get to him. Tyrell is there to pounce if anything happens to him.
So by 4, whatever you need to work him.
As you mentioned, Carson, Brendan Millington starting to, or Brendan Queen and Ryan Millington, I should say, starting to make up some
40 chasing a 45.
side by side for 4th. But Connor Jones, with the sand of the hourglass run out, because right now Corey Heim driving away just slightly.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but Heim started to pick up his pace. We heard from James a little bit.
40 chasing a 44.
Had some good short run pace. The 55 might be the opposite. They might only want long runs here as we see the battle for, I believe, that's 6. That's Kane Honeycutt and Chase Burrows and Carson Kvapil right there in 8th. Coming off a big win at Martinsville, he's definitely wanting momentum here.
35 chasing a 40.
Looks pretty well here, but Honeycutt trying to work that outside, and these guys aren't too far.
So 1 back, 14.
So, the 0-0 of Chase Burrow, we said earlier in the show, his car looked really well and, able to clear Honeycutt right there.
We talked about earlier, Connor
Still out there. Clear.
Sports 8 car on the other side of that coin. It was made official. Carson Kvapil, 2-time champion, is running
Half back,
commercial
14.
season this year.
Run at bottom now.
To the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025.
Inside quarter clear.
Slate with the same team that he's driven to much success in this late.
Still out there, 2 up, 1 up. 14 in line with you. Clear behind him.
But he's kind of been
Still half back, 14 out of line.
Here comes Jared Fryer to apply some pressure.
Half back, half down.
Make a line change here. He was on the bottom, didn't 100% get it lane. Honeycutt made
Still
a
there.
line change. I wasn't sure that he wanted to make. He went to the bottom. The 8 was able to get
Inside, 1 down, even.
Goes back to the top. Fryer now with the inside of Kvapil.
door, quarter.
Battle now brews for
Still quarter. 2 down.
And how about Max Reed?
Inside door.
To the kid out of Trinity, North Carolina, making his first start in a late model stock.
Bottom still covered. 18's trying to poke mid.
Oftentimes been competing this year.
Inside quarter, 18.
Pro late models, as there was almost contact into the right rear of Jared Fryer, but Reeves doing an incredible
Still there.
job
On your
now,
tight.
running in the top 10 for the Sellers
Clear.
Group. Made his late model stock car debut.
Back inside quarter, half down.
South Boston Speedway, but has shown
You got momentum.
well
Door, quarter, clear, clear.
here tonight in a late model stock car debut in this series.
Half back, half down. Inside quarter.
a little bit, passing, and
Still there. Clear.
really good job, it seems, behind the wheel. I mean, racing
Half cover, 2 up.
are very accomplished.
1 up.
They're very accomplished.
Half back 14 with a run.
Going
Stalled at half.
And then Max Reeves, just starting to get his start here.
18's trying to poke top.
For him too.
Out there, quarter. Clear.
Got a little bit loose, getting back to the gas, trying to take advantage of the opportunity with Kvapil.
You in the 15, 2 up. 1 up. Half back, 18.
Battle continues to rage on. Less than 20 to go. Up towards the front, it's about a half-second deficit between that of Pine and Jones.
2 up.
Reeves trying to squirt through the
Still out there, door,
If
quarter.
he can. Here's the leaders now.
Back
Working
even.
their way off of turn number 2. There is the tail
Still
of the
up.
field that they are
Half.
going to
Outside quarter.
One of those cars is that of Connor Hall.
Was just about to
Still 2 up.
mention that this was the gap a couple of laps ago.
Still out there, door 18 in line with you.
Very quickly narrowed it.
Still out there.
Last time made up over a 10th.
Still out there.
49. So it's been kind of a
Quarter.
just going back and forth
Door.
in terms of making up some time, and then Corey Heim just able to extend his advantage this time by Connor Jones.
1 up. Still out there.
10th better than that number 55.
You'll get him right here.
16 laps to go. Connor Jones
Clear.
starting to reel in
Coming back.
time.
Outside quarter.
Time. Meanwhile, they're side by side in front of them.
Spinning out back here. Yellow, 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 yellow.
McCaskill, Max Reeves, and Brent Cruz involved in this one off at turn number 2. Caution flag is out yet again. as
Reckon
Reeves
top
will
at
be able
2
to
here. Just watch for
escape.
debris.
Well, just as we were singing the praises of the young driver who was making his Cars Tour late model stock debut, he ends up in a big one with Deke McCaskill, who again...
Deke again.
If our camera panned out,
All right,
you would see a
coming
lot
back
of
to it,
race
choose
fans
here.
here all over the country. Probably came from here. I know there's a NASCAR race in town, but we have RVs
Number
on
4,
the
your
back
choice.
stretch. We have people camping
5,
out.
top
We have
shortest.
people, tailgating all across, and I don't think that happens with FloRacing here and what these race fans would do.
Control card top.
I don't think we see how healthy late
1
model
bottom.
stock is done and
2
how
bottom.
much access we get as race fans and FloRacing being able
3.
to do this and continuing to grow, continuing to get better,
4, your choice.
continuing to allow Cars Tour and everybody, across the board, across the country, across the world, to be able to see this great type of racing we have here just in the state of North Carolina.
First 2
is
in
really
line to
important
top.
that
So
to keep
55,
pushing
44,
see
15, leading your lane.
Blake and I say it every week. We got the best job in racing to
We
be able
do.
to cover this series, and we're really happy to have you along with us tonight. It's been a lot of fun.
It has been a lot of fun, and I think we have more fun in store. We can see Minnie Tyrell. Actually, he's the first car that elects the bottom. So Connor Jones, after battling all that
Lights will
time
stay
with
on.
Corey Heim, elects to stay in the top lane just behind that 55 car. So we'll reset things for you here. Corey Heim, Minnie Tyrell will now make up your first row. Then you have Connor Jones on the top side and Brendan Quinn on the bottom in row 2. Then it looks as though it'll be Ryan Millington and Chase Burrow in row number 3. 16 laps is all we have to settle this one. The lights go on the HendrickCards.com pace car just one more time before we turn them loose. But what in the world could we see out of Connor Jones, who I think kind of like what we saw with Minnie Tyrell, has a great short run car. Does he have enough here to get the job done?
All right,
We just brought up
lights
the
are back
point I was
out
about to
here.
make as we get to the one to go
One
single.
to go to the
Mike
line,
told
green
us,
next time.
that 81
16
car,
to go when
it's
you
a
get it.
good short run car. 16 laps to go, might be right on the edge of what we consider a short run in a late model stock race like this.
Inside the road is 77, row behind. 2 of Pierce down low, 28
Connor Jones
up
gave
and in
the
your
front
mirror.
row. I've always said winners take the front row. He must know something I don't, but for how physical
we're
we've
card
seen
here.
him tonight, I
16 go.
cannot believe he would not put himself in a position to even hint at muscling the 55
Clean
a
up a
little
bit.
bit out of the groove and at least put himself in that spot. But obviously,
Control
we're
car,
going
your
to
lane.
see how this turns
Leaders
out.
10 away.
We'll see if Tyrell can keep up on the bottom.
5,
16
ready,
laps left
ready,
to settle
green.
it here in Granite Falls tonight. An
All
even
rolling.
launch for your
One back.
2 as Corey Heim will bring them down into turn number 1. We saw some contact earlier.
Top
We
of
see
3.
it again. 3 wide. Connor Jones may look
It's
to make
fading.
it 4. He's into the back of
Top of
Corey
2.
Heim. Down into 3 and 4. Tyrell trying to make a charge for the race lead. Now Jones into the back.
All the
of
way
line
down.
again.
Clear, clear, clear.
Tyrell, who has a it at the stripe.
You know, I just mentioned about muscling.
That quarter, you got momentum. Clear.
Front straightaway again.
Yellow.
The shitty coolers caution is out again.
That one's stuck in the mid at start finish, then spinning out back.
That's a 71 of Donnelly around. I'm not sure 100% what happened. I think there's a stack up as we see the damage to left rear. I'm sure there was a handful of guys that were calling yellow or waving out the window, and just a good old-fashioned stack up of we've seen. But definitely could have been worse there into 3 and 4.
There have not been a lot of single-car incidents here tonight, and I wonder if that three car is keeping that in mind should things get too rough up in front of them with these late-stage laps still to unwind. Let's go to Pike.
I have a pretty simple answer on
Max
Reeves' deal. He just came down pit road. There was a little bit of damage on the hood, so they were frantic to get the hood off, and then they sent him on his way. So once they were done with the services, I looked at Peyton Sellers, and I asked him, we took the hood off, and he said, yeah, he just couldn't see over the thing. So they got the hood off. They cleared Max's visibility. He should be all set to go. No other damage otherwise to Max Reeves' machine.
That's a first for me, but completely understandable, right?
I was about to say, you don't have that problem, do you?
Oh, yes, that's definitely not something I've ever had to say, luckily. But it goes back with experience, right? I've had known people, listened to people, or been teammates with people that have had that issue, have struggled with visibility. But as a new kid, as new to this as you are, right? You're a little bit frantic because you're running well. You spun, you crash, right? Whatever. You're coming back out there. But now you can't see.
Make it obvious. Don't hit your box.
What do I do? Where am I at? Now you're kind of, I don't want to say
scared,
scared,
top,
that's not
one
the right
bottom.
term, right? But you're a little bit now flustered. Yeah, you're anxious, flustered, not 100%. The night's not going how you want it to. You're struggling with maybe handling your emotions 100%, thinking clearly, and you can overreact to just a touch there. And luckily he wasn't able to hit anything, and able to get that hood out of the way and go along his way and earn some more valuable laps here. He's got 15 to go to continue learning, and he's going to be able to.
All right, 15 to go, and you get it 1-5
if it ever arise again.
All right, so we put one lap
Control
behind us.
top.
There's still 15
Your
to
lane,
go.
81,
Pretty much the
03,
exact same
00.
order up front in terms of the choose. Heim and Corey Jones on the top side. So if you're Corey Heim, you've had Mini Tyrell the last couple of restarts.
Want to go green next time?
A little bit higher, make a little bit of contact, and then by the way, Connor Jones, whose car has been incredible.
Outside the road, 14, row behind, 28 in your mirror, 77 up top.
Is right behind you as a development here. Caden Honeycutt
Clean him
is
up
on
good.
pit
Control
road.
car's been going early.
And kind of fallen towards the outskirts of the top 10, but he pulls to the attention of his crew.
Yeah, not a lot of frantic, so they must have had something in the power plant or something go awry there that they can't assess or fix as we're coming back to the green flag here.
Ready.
Corey Heim here outside, Mini Tyrell as they fire. Mini Tyrell really good.
One off.
Spins the tires a little bit of advantage. Watch for Tyrell to wash up.
Two up, covered.
Almost clear the 55.
You in the 14.
And he'll take advantage, put the 55 in a spot to
Three back your lane.
Tyrell, your new leader for the first time tonight.
He had a great
One up.
launch through the Death Wish Coffee restart zone, and he's hanging it high, wide, and handsome right now. With 15 to go, does Corey
half up,
try to
even.
get back to him? He does. A shove from Corey
Stop
Himes
our door.
back to Mini Tyrell. Queen's up to third. Connor Jones looking to pounce as well. 14 laps to go. Mini Tyrell looking for his first win in the Z-Max Tour in 3 years right here at this racetrack.
Guys, Heim wasn't done with him. He shot
half
a
up.
little bit.
Door.
44, now 3 wide for third. I believe that's the 44. That Chase Burrows on the inside. Is Connor Jones going to get to the top? But yeah, all eyes right now on the 55. I'm not 100%. He's done with the 81 of Mini Tyrell, but it's the question, can he get back there?
Still even tight on you now.
Top. Mini Tyrell kind of taking a lower
Halfback
line.
77.
Obviously, Corey Heim not
77 on the top.
of just basically getting his line taken away, or at least force
one up,
into a
even.
spot where he's got to lift, but he's now got Connor Jones all over him. Connor Jones now to the inside.
Now the Rudin Gallagher is going to continue to intensify.
Bottom
It's 10
three.
to go next time by. Heim nearly knocked up out of the groove as Connor Jones
14.
goes to
Stop
second.
their door.
He'll try to return
Bottom
the
two.
favor in 3 while Tyrell drives away.
That one's slow top coming. Can they go at the line? Top covered, bottom of 3.
He's going to lose a handful of positions as he tries
Still
to
bottom of 3.
on Connor
Half
Jones.
up in the
It
mid.
does not work. Now he's stuck top side.
Still outside quarter 14.
As he's just able to clear Ryan Millington. I'm sure Brendan Queen, this is the
Bottom
last
of 3.
thing he wants to see going on all around.
Still bottom of 3.
The race has completely unraveled for Heim. Now he's back
14 tight 2 in the mid.
wide, almost
Bottom of 4.
right here.
Bottom of 4, bottom of 3.
Picked up. Now Millington's gotten into him. Contact there as there's 3
Bottom
wide.
of 2.
Almost
Top
very
covered.
off of turn
Tight
4.
2 a quarter.
Heim is hanging tough, but I think time has run out, and now he's got a little bit of damage to muster. 8 to go. Kvapil trying to get it done to the bottom. They are going to go 4 off at turn number 2.
Just you in the 15 now.
Trayton Lapsevich has worked his way up into the mix as well. Just behind this group as Kvapil has been committed to the bottom. Chase Barlow in the double zero to the fold. 7 to go from Tri-County. Tyrell's lead is about 7/10 of a second, but it's a hornet's nest behind him.
Only driver to make every lap so far this season, that number 77 of Trayton Lapsevich.
Yeah, there's not a thing you're missing on Flo that we're not showing you right now as Heim, desperately trying to get
halfback
some
2
position.
wide.
Guys, this is an important spot for him
Little
to
left
get.
to you,
If he
tight.
could be 4th, that would put him either 2nd row-ish, but if he ends up 5th, that's going to put him to the 3rd row because you got to think with the
Still down there, 5-1.
4th, that
All
puts
clear.
him in a spot to 3rd, and if things awry, you can maybe make something happen.
Whatever
with
you
3rd,
need here.
4th would be difficult, but 5th and 6th, nearly impossible.
5 laps to go. How about Landon S. Huffman? Give a nod. He's trying to race
Bottom
first
still covered,
the
2
top
down.
10 right now. In fact, he's got it.
1 down, tight.
It's Trayton Lapsevich who's up the road that he's trying to get around. But still, a lot
Still
going
inside,
on
even.
here.
The last two, sorry Blake, the last 2 laps, Connor Jones was a 1/10 of a second faster. The last 2 consecutive laps, that gap is
Still 2
closing
down,
for the
even.
race lead.
3 to go here, 3-1.
Another 1/10 of a second for Jones.
I was about to write it off that yes, Mini Tyrell may drive off into the sunset, but now Connor Jones has really picked
You
up
in
the
the double
pace.
zero.
Can he try to
Still
make some moves
4-1.
here? They'll come around this time. 2 laps to go. Again, he
Is
eats
3.
into the advantage.
Is 3.
Mini
Coming
Tyrell.
2 to go here.
Oh, trouble.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
Turn 2, the 9 car is around,
Got
along
a
with
blocking the
Ryan
track bottom
Wilson.
and mid. Roll top wall.
And we will see the Shitty Coolers
Oh, it's
caution
up.
again. That was Charlie Watson, who was running up in the 14th position.
Round, and sometimes you can set up for knowing you're
All
going
right,
to be
P6
loud
right here.
and this is the money
Coming
spot.
back
You
2
can
and
kind of
choose.
adjust
I know you got a
that,
safety truck
but
there.
it's not as simple as this is almost easy to do as a crew chief. You have no concern. You can't fill it back up. You have no
P6,
pit stops.
number
You're
for top
not
is 3.
100% sure how many yellows you're going to get. It's not the hardest thing to do is run out of fuel here, but just a horrible, horrible moment
Safety
to
truck
make
down
that
bottom
happen.
in the 3.
If that stays green, maybe he gets to the end. So they timed it out about as perfect as possible. But unfortunately, the cards
Right,
went in
choosing
their
here, don't
favor.
hit your
They get
box.
that last
Number
yellow
for
that's
top
going
is
to
3.
really, almost kill their chances here.
Control car
Again,
top,
you
1
use more
bottom.
fuel here. Most of the tracks we go to are
2.
4/10 of a mile, but you
Bottom
want to use
shortest.
throttle at this track probably more so for any other 4/10 of a mile racetrack that we go to, Eric, than any other place, because you're lifting a little bit on entry, but you're getting back to the throttle pretty early in the center of the corner, so you use more fuel here at this racetrack than nearly all the 4/10
All right, outside your row of 15, row behind, double zero in your mirror, 77
With
up
a
top.
couple of cautions sprinkled in, which again I think you'd come to expect at Tri-County Speedway.
55 in front, but married to the top all race.
Guys, I just talked to Butterbean's crew. I asked them, are you all good on fuel? And they looked at me and they gave me a thumbs up. They said, yes, so fuel not an issue for Butterbean the way it
Save
was
what you
last year
can
at the
here.
Old
Lights
World
will be out here.
Nationals. She should be good to go to the end.
My
to go green
question
next
right
time.
now is Mini Tyrell
Bro.
out of the race car. You're fighting for a championship. Why would you not just fuel it up? Like every point would matter, right? Why would you, get out of the race car? Number one, did they actually run out of fuel? Did something else not happen?
A lot of guys running out here. Billington ran out.
But
He's
it's
stuck.
just shocking to me.
Turn
Why would
4.
you not give yourself at
Keep
least
saving.
a fighting shot to maybe get some more points? As we see Millington now stopped, we can only assume that might be fuel as well.
And the more that this happens, if there's another car or two that
Well,
are pretty much
that's a
in
point,
the same
Blake.
position,
That's a potential point.
well, it's a potential point, and guess what? They're going to continue running laps under yellow, which continues
staying
to
lights
make
out
the
here.
problem
Yeah, okay.
only worse for everybody
forgot the
else.
fifth.
I don't want to say
What's
why
the
would you quit, but why would you quit? Let's try and get that answer right now. James Pike, I believe you're down with Mini Tyrell.
Carson, I am. Minnie, what are your emotions right now in the midst of all this?
I'm out of gas. Millington just ran out of gas. I mean, I don't know in what late model stock racing that there's a 125 lap race where you have to cut the car off and coast and save fuel. And I was doing it since lap 20 when we had the first caution. And just pretty ridiculous. I mean, we get cars that are balled up and we're doing 10, 12 caution laps
Lights
every
out here.
caution.
Want to go to the line.
I mean, it's really painful. That cost us the race win. It sucks. We showed how much speed this car had and
green, white
how good
checker
we
here.
really were, and we should have been staying in victory lane right about now, but
All right, outside the road now is 77. Row behind, 00 in your mirror, 28 up top.
Kirkland at IPOC with Solid Rock Carriers.
Control car
Jay
top.
Fogelman for helping me out this week because my truck was broken down on the side of the road, and he tried to give me as much assistance as I can so I could fix it myself.
Pace car's going to drag here.
So it's a struggle to get where we are, but just really a shame. Could have really used that.
All right, everything you got, 2 laps here.
He'll have an
We are
opportunity to
coming to the
rebound
green.
next week at Wilkesboro.
All right.
Leaders 10 away.
Lights are off on the HinterCars.com
5,
pace car.
ready,
Into the Death
ready,
Wish Coffee
green,
restart
green, green.
zone. Connor Jones,
All
Brendan
rolling,
Queen.
all rolling.
Looking
Half
to
back.
make it last 2 laps to go.
77 might be out. He stumbled and a
Check
red
out
Corey
bottom,
Hawkins
bottom,
turned to
bottom,
turn
bottom.
They're all
one.
in turn 1.
William Sawalich, Brandon Pierce,
Check up
Ronnie
here.
Bassett
Yellow, yellow,
Jr.,
yellow.
Corey Heim goes around. A number
Gonna
of
go red,
cars
start, finish line.
involved.
Red, start,
And the
finish line.
Shitty Coolers car.
As we see on your FloRacing camera, the damage to Carson Kvapil in the right front. I don't want to say scene of the crime, but that's a little bit of what we see there as we see the the bottom left of your screen, I guess.
we were involved in the caution.
Grill screen is torn up, and then also obviously your right front fender pushed good about in.
All right, they want you behind the 22, but we're coming 2 and 2s here.
Things fall their way when all said and done next week. This could
I have
turn
no
out to
idea
be
what
the night
position
that
we're in.
defines his year as they come to the choose and 1 to go this time. Quick report from Pike.
Brandon Pierce, what did you see from your perspective?
I just saw the 55 sideways. I don't know if he ran out of gas or what happened. I know some guys were running out of gas. So he either ran out and, of course, got turned because we were, restart, or he got turned.
We are 1 and 2s here coming to the green. It'll be green, white,
There was
checker.
a hole for me to shoot through on the bottom.
Well, we're going good down there, 3 and 4 to get fuel over there.
Ronnie was behind me, and I think he got piled into. Everybody just piled into everybody. I mean, it's a restart, it's car short, 3 to go. And
All right, just be smart here. Heads up,
we
race.
got a night going, so hate to see all
Big
these
eyes,
guys.
hornet's nest here.
Everybody works really hard.
Pace car's away, 5 away. Ready.
All right, 2 laps
Ready,
to go
green,
to
green.
settle it here through the Death Wish
Easy,
Coffee
easy,
restart
easy, easy.
zone. It looks like
Come on, come on, bottom, bottom.
Is out of gas, but they keep it green for
Bottom's
now.
clear.
Not sure he's going to make it back around. He's
Connor
trying to
Jones
move
to
that car.
lead right
Top
now,
covered.
guys.
2 back, 81.
Jones to the point.
Shut it off,
Lapsovich still
shut it off.
slow up in turns 1 and 2 with Butterbean looking
Yellow,
low.
yellow, 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 yellow,
Caution is
yellow.
out for Drake Lapsovich as that car rolls slowly towards the bottom of the racetrack trying to get into fire. Maybe this isn't the night that
Should be
Butterbean was
18,
anticipating
22,
in terms of luck after what happened to Connor Hall at the beginning of this race.
Let the
If we just
22
keep
in front.
running laps under yellow, he could end up being really tight to the finish.
Yeah, the 71 has stopped
Right,
at
T11
turn
here.
2. He's not going to be able to make it
5
back
will
around.
be your
You can
choice.
see him right there, so he'll require
Here come
a
the 1
push.
and 2s.
That'll take more laps under yellow. So a
keep
chaotic
saving here.
situation right here, which could you
Right,
have
not choosing,
imagined
not choosing.
if this continues to play out, if Queen runs out of fuel, Hall
Just
might
keep saving here. Save,
the
save,
better end
save.
of all this. But again, they're all saving.
That's what I wonder. The most work you
Race
do
control said 2 behind the
is in
28.
works, in the shop and in testing and practicing. But the second the race goes on, honestly, you put your hand up
holy
and
crap, we're
say the
choosing.
work was done. And you've done all you could do to get your driver
yeah,
the best
there you
car.
go.
You can't make adjustments. There's nothing.
They never said one. Choosing.
And that's not exactly what we're seeing tonight. We've had the 22s rebuilt half the front end.
Pick 'em up good here.
Fuel
Got what we
and
got.
just
Coming
everything
to the
could
green.
be thrown their way, and it's just something you would not expect for just a 125 lap or late mile race as we get ready to go. 1 to go. Lights are out. Blake,
All right, just
what do you
be
got?
heads up here.
Let's see what they
Somebody
have.
might
Do
run
they
out
have
in front
enough to
of you.
make it to the end? 2 laps to go again to settle this one.
Leaders,
Tri
away.
County, the HinterCars.com pace car
5,
will pull down.
ready,
Connor Jones,
ready,
Brendan
green,
Queen,
green, green,
your
green.
top 2. They launch through the Death
All
Wish
rolling,
Coffee
all rolling,
restart
all clear.
zone. Green flag is out. They make it down to turns 1 and 2 safely, but Connor
Go by
Jones
2, whatever lane you
run
need
on
here.
the outside off of turn 2.
Jones got the advantage, clear track ahead. Butterbean's going to fight him out for the win with Jared
Coming
Fryer
2 to
throwing
go
his
at the
name
line.
in the
2
mix.
more. 2.
Here they come to the line, 2 laps to go.
Fryer, I don't think we've mentioned him at
Whatever
all
lane you
up
need here.
front, even in the top 5, now having a shot to win. He clears Butterbean, now trying to run the middle of the racetrack.
Still down there,
Jones
even,
up high.
half down, coming to the
Fryer
right.
really going to be the only factor here for Connor Jones as they take the white flag.
White flag in the air. I think Queen trying to run the bottom to save as much fuel as
Top of 3,
possible.
top
But
of 2 now.
Connor Jones looking for his 2nd career Z-Max car
Coming to the checker, whatever you need.
through 3 and 4, and it's going to happen.
Go top of
Connor
3,
Jones
top of 4.
returns
Keep coming
down
here.
pit
Keep coming.
lane.
Clear. Checker flag
Stack up
here.
at the line as Andrew Grady and Ryan Wilson got together off the corner. That
P6
may have cut the
after all
rear
that.
down on Grady's car.
Oh,
Everybody does a great job
crazy
to
mess,
avoid
man.
it.
Way to
But
hang
for
in
the
there.
second time in his career, Connor Jones he decided to scale back
to the back.
to give a
Probably the other
hometown
shot at
hero a
it.
chance to race for his own
Thank you.
checkered flag. Later on in a pro late model, goes
Yeah, I mean, chaos. We
Did they
got
call
real
that
fortunate enough
choose?
to see it.
I mean,
not
I just want to make
everybody
sure I
at home
didn't
got
miss
to
it. Did
100%
anybody else hear
see
it?
that, but a lot
No,
of
you didn't.
chaos
That's what he just
happened,
said whenever they crossed the line.
in
So
that
we're
last
choose
lap. I'm not
now.
even sure if we had a camera on it, we would have been
Okay,
able to
I'm just
really
making sure I ain't
be able to
crazy.
tell exactly what happened as they pushed the Connor Jones machine.